So I wrote this piece last week during the rain. You'll understand that when you hear the piece. Yeah. Like I said, I've never written a piece like this. This one's it's for me. My name is MHaze, and those letters have constantly been rearranged because although it's been 23 years, I still find myself trying to find myself. And I guess when I get around to ripping away these ads, maybe I'll find the real me concealed amongst the walls of these yellow pages. I like to swim. And for as far back as I can remember, I've always been the most comfortable when I was below water, I guess, because the rains and the oceans have never showed themselves biased to who they let get to know them. And for the past 5 years, I've been trying to tell myself that God was the same way. And that maybe women are not. That men can be more than just walking phallic symbols to pick up boxes and kill the bugs. I guess that's why I've always tried to be more of a gentle man than these gentle men who promote themselves as thugs. I've always dreamt of having a woman love me. But these days, when that situation presents itself much too often, I've become uncomfortable with the idea of it. I've supernovaed, and I look back at the rest of this rotating world in mere disgust, all these fair-weather women I do not trust, although I desperately want to. But when your dreams become realities, what's left for you to do? I felt 22. There was an inaudible plate shift in my perception. I thought 23 would be the same way. It wasn't. There was no dances, no smiles. The night just passed, without any whispers or murmurs of any tighter grasp on an understanding. I've been in a toxic relationship for the past 2 to 3 years of my life. I caught myself in love with a woman I know did not love me back, and that's not fair. To me, or any woman who's been in my life since then, their confused faces always asking me, why are you still single? I give them a partly truthful answer. The other part because I still feel like I'm somewhat committed. I've said her name in random conversations with strangers, hoping to speak her into existence. I've held on to her memories without her permission, placed them upon pedestals, and used those to construct the coliseums of my mind. It's time I rebuild. So this will be the last time I ever address the 8 letters that make up her name. I like to swim. For as far back as I can remember, I've always been the most comfortable when I was below water, I guess, because I've always felt like I was drowning. And for the majority of my life, I've been trying to teach myself the difference between right and wrong, because when I grew up, both my father and my president had a side piece. So, yeah. If I could go into the future and speak to the older me, I would simply tell him, I'm proud that you've allowed yourself to make it this far. But if I could go into the past, I have no idea what I would say to the younger me, because I'm not really sure where things went wrong, but I guess I would say, you don't have to be a man just yet. It's okay to be a boy. Sometimes people are going to lie. Not all women are the same, and if you ever find yourself below water, stop fighting, and you'll rise to the top. Thank you. One. Ever since the first time I saw Star Trek as a young boy, my mind has moved at warp speed, and it fell in love with the idea that love wanted to be loved. 2. It seems to me that all poets have at least one poem where they're counting. 3. This is mine. 4. Most mornings, I miss the taste of your kiss. And I will always remember the night we had here at the mall when you pushed me against the wall and you kissed me. You were the only one brave enough to do the thing that we were both craving. You kissed me. Although your friend was in the car around the corner deciding to give us just a little bit of privacy, you looked me in the eyes. You kissed me. And I will never forget. 5. If I could strap my hands to the back of a fighter jet as it took off one day, my heart would not move nearly as fast as it did that night. 6. My masculinity is not defined by my strength or my size, but rather by my rationality. My uncanny addiction to logic, I compare things. And that's how I make the best decisions, but I compared everything and everyone to you, so now that I lost you, what do I do? You were the standard. And nothing seems to fit right anymore. I'm lost in this world of shapes and signs, and I wish I was blind. So that when I went back over old messages, I could feel you say, I love you. One more time. 7. Every day, I miss your kiss. 8. And I know that if I tried hard enough, you would come back to this love that we had because it was far too priceless to just throw away. I know that if I sent you flowers every single day, if I sang at the top of my lungs outside of your bedroom while I threw Cheerios at your bedroom window, I know you would come back to this love that we had because it was far too priceless to just throw away. 9. You had your new boyfriend call me not too long ago and say that you didn't want to hear from me anymore. Apparently, the funny e-card I sent you on your birthday made you upset for some reason. And if that's the case, I'm sorry. 10. I hate you for that. 10. I hate you for that. 10. I hate you for that. And if we're to be completely honest, I'm probably more of a broken man now than I was when I was with you. From dealing with you, I don't even know your number. And I can barely remember how to spell your name. 11. But I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. I'll assume that you just decided to take the simple way out of this life filled with love that we could have had. I'll assume that you decided not to hear from me anymore because of everything I reminded you of, and I reminded you of me. And I reminded you of the way you felt when you were with me. And I reminded you of your little brother's ears and the Hot Wheels he would play with. And I reminded you of laying on beaches, thrill rides, sunrises and sunsets, birds and turtles, and anything that made you smile. And I reminded you of love. So I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. 12. You used to say that the only thing you wanted was me. And I was willing to give you anything in this world if you simply asked. Accept that. 13. I don't know why I still miss you. I can't say I'm any more of a healed man now than I was when I was with you. I can't say that if you came today, anything would be different. I can't say that this us, we, or that we would have ever worked out in the long run. But what I can tell you is, 14. Every day, I miss your kiss. Thank you.